Hey Scorpios, welcome to my channel. It's True Tarot for today, and I'm going to be doing your monthly horoscope for June 2019. I've already shuffled your cards and laid out the zodiac spread, which will give you an idea of the general influences that may come up in the month of June. And I've noticed you have a few cards that are similar to some of your other readings. So you may still be processing events that have happened, to you in the last 2 or 3 months. We did have the full moon, I believe, in Scorpio, and that represented a lot of endings for a lot of people. And so let's look at your cards and see what June has in store for you. Okay, in your first house you have the King of Pentacles, and this is a card that indicates a person that's very good with finances. They're usually established. It can sometimes be a banker or someone connected with a financial institution, real estate. Now, for you female Scorpios, this is a general reading, so the world could see you as someone who's extremely established and good with money. Or if you're female, they can be seeing some man, either your mate or your significant other, a little more prominently than they see you. They would be seeing you through this man. And so your personality would be a little bit eclipsed. They would associate you with this person, that's either comfortable in their finances, established, or it could be, like I said, representing you getting very serious about your money and being adept at handling your money. For some of you, people will see you connecting with a financial institution to get something done. So it's a very strong earth card. And if it is for the females, I think many of you are being seen through your significant other. For the males, you would be seen as powerful handling your money in the month of June. Speaking of money, the second house represents your finances, and you have the highest card in the deck, which is the World. And so for many of you Scorpios, financial success or being established is just a means for you to explore the world, yourself, your ideas, your philosophy, travel. This is a very global card. So for those Scorpions who invest, you would be looking at the global market at this time. You would be wanting to spread your currency. Anything to do with global investment would appeal to you very strongly in the month of June. And I can throw Bitcoin and other kinds of currencies in this loop because it's something that indicates a global approach to money. The other people that doesn't apply to in terms of investment and using money for travel, that is your main focus on having your income provide you so that you can have lots of travel, international travel, a sense of freedom, a sense of liberation, exploring the world. The world is your oyster. Then this might indicate that you just perceive wealth or money as a means to explore your options, but especially travel. Your third house represents siblings, cousins, your neighborhood, your environment, and you have a water sign showing up here. So as a Scorpio, you would immediately identify with another water sign. The King of Cups is usually a man that's, 38 years old or older. They're a person that has imagination, sensitivity, usually well-mannered, usually nice-looking. So if this is a sibling or a cousin, you would be in contact with them more in the month of June. If it's someone, a neighbor, or someone in your environment, again, you would have a good emotional rapport with this person. And because it's a general reading, we could, stretch it to a female, a Queen of Cups, which again is just someone that you emotionally resonate with or relate to. It's an easy camaraderie with this person. And so it's nice to have them in your corner, whether it's a family member or a neighbor, someone in your environment. In your home, Scorpios, you're going to be very busy in the month of June. This is the card of running around, running errands, multitasking, being busy, maybe juggling work and home, maybe juggling two children and, the errands and the requirements to keep them occupied during the summer. But it is a card of not really resting that well, feeling that you have to get many things done. And so in the month of June, try to take some downtime where you can relax at home, because you are going to feel that you haven't gotten everything done, or as much as you do, there's still a list of things that you need to accomplish. And so you're not going to rest. It's not going to be a peaceful month in the home. It's going to be quite busy. And you may even have visitors or people coming in and out. Your fifth house represents your children and new love. And I consider new love any love that has started in the last 3 years. And this is the card of competition, perhaps a little bit of struggle. So if it's your children, it indicates that they're out in the world trying to make a living. Some of them may be a little challenged by their competition, feeling that it's difficult to get an upper hand, to get the good paying job. Many of them may be in sales or a field that is highly competitive, a profession where they really have to stand out and sort of outdo their competition. If it's a new love, they may feel that you have other attention, or that you're dating other people and they have to compete for your attention. You could be dating someone who's, again, in sales or a very competitive field where it demands a lot of their energy. And if it's a new love, some of you just may be with a competitive personality where they like to spar with you. It's part of their nature to challenge you or compete with you. And that's part of the romantic courtship dance. So this is either a partner that's new in your life. It's someone you've met in the last 3 years romantically, or it's your children. So everyone's going to be kind of preoccupied with getting ahead in the month of June. In your workhouse, you have the fertility card. This is the Empress. It's a great card. It means that there's a lot of potentiality in your career. It can indicate a profession where you're nurturing and taking care of others, and this can be HR, counseling, psychiatry, cooking, any of the healing arts would fall under this umbrella. But in the month of June, you're going to be seen as a person that nurtures and cares for everyone. It's the Earth Mother. And it's a beautiful card because you're grounded and you're like a well that everyone comes to draw from. And you give them a sense of stability and peace and opulence. And so you're going to be very fertile in your career and very productive in your career in the month of June. This is a favorable aspect. Having said that, in your partnership house, you have the Three of Swords, and this is a challenging card emotionally, and it indicates some breakup. So one of your partners may be going through a separation at this time, which is not easy for them. There can be some tears involved or even some arguments. It can be you breaking up with one of your partners. In a general reading, it's difficult to say if this is one of your partners and they've separated from their job or their spouse. But partners can be colleagues, family members, friends, significant others, children, or your mate. And so some of you will either have separated from someone and you're still experiencing the processing of that separation, or one of your partners is going through a difficult time in a separation, and you'll have to be there to kind of give them moral support. Okay, in your 8th house, this represents shared resources and also your intimate life. And this is saying if it's your intimate life, you're attached to a person that no longer really serves you. This is the card, the Devil, which represents codependency in relationships and being chained to things that you've outgrown, but you're sort of afraid to move away from. So many of you Scorpios may still be sexually involved with a person that you know is not really good for you, or in the long run is not going to bring you the emotional happiness or the emotional stability that you would want in a relationship. So caution, in the bedroom in the month of June, to remove yourself from a relationship if it is, negative for you as an outcome. If it's shared resources, and shared resources can be custody battles, insurance payouts, child support, IRS, anything where you have resources shared with others, you have, again, a bad attachment card here, or feeling bound. And so many of you, may feel that it's difficult to prolong a situation, some situation where you feel entitled to something, you're attached to the outcome or winning, and yet it's dragging you down, whether this is fighting for that or feeling depressed because you didn't get what you thought you deserved. And that's even further implied by your 9th house card. The 9th house indicates philosophy, religion, publishing, higher education, travel, and lawsuits. And so going back to the shared resources, if any of you have felt that you were entitled to some payout or custody or disability, this card is saying that you really feel left out in the cold or neglected. It's the card of, down and out in Beverly Hills, where either your money is not flowing and you feel needy, or you feel emotionally cut off from someone and left, really neglected is the word. So for any of those departments, I don't recommend publishing, travel, any of the topics that I brought up, even lawsuits. You can make it clear to, your legal representation that, you've been victimized or you've been left out in the cold. But I don't know if it's going to necessarily help, your case if this is a lawsuit, or, like I said, custody, child support, disability. You're just going to have to continue plodding along and stating your case. But in the month of June, I would not travel. I think you would feel kind of lonely, or you wouldn't have the money that you'd want to spend at the location you arrived at. Publishing, unless you're publishing a book about, something from childhood, psychological things, neglect, I don't recommend publishing at this time. And that even goes for websites, because websites are publishing in this day and age. Anything to do with higher education, I would stay away from it this time. I think that the costs would outweigh the benefits. And so your ninth house, you're definitely showing that you're not happy with the situation. You want it to change. But because you have, the devil card in your eighth house, anything to do, like I said, with shared resources or legalities regarding that, don't throw a lot of energy at this in the month of June, because I don't think you're going to have spectacular results. Now, you've had this card in the 10th house before, Scorpio. I think it was 2 months ago, because I remember I was a little perplexed of how I wanted to read it. It's the Seven of Swords. So some of you, may be in a profession that people feel is a little bit vibing on the edge of snake oil salesman. This is the card of being a little sly or cunning, sometimes trying to get over on people. It can also be a guilt or shame card. Many of you may be wanting to just bail out of a job or bail out of a project. And so that energy came up for you, I think, 2 months ago. And it still presents itself here in your June forecast. So the 10th house is how the world sees you. So for some of you, people are going to be seeing you as wanting to make the great escape, either from a project, co-workers, a boss, even a profession. They can see you wanting to just bail out and not have long words at the door. So it can indicate, guilt about leaving, shame. But also, you need to look at how people are perceiving your profession, because it may not be that you're actually doing anything unethical or cunning, but that your profession has a reputation, or your profession may have a side to it where others are going to consider it a little shady, and you don't really want to be associated with that energy. So in all of your dealings, Scorpios, for the month of June, be on the up and up, and be aware that there's something that's a little fishy somewhere. This can just be one person in your office and you're associated with them. This can be for the females if people are seeing you through this person that, makes money and has money, possibly banker, real estate, finance, that you are involved in tricky or slippery slopes. And so just be cautious in your dealings professionally in the month of June, so that you're not associated with anything that is considered dishonest. Now, in your friendship house, you have the ambition card, people that want to achieve something in life, achieve greatness. And so, Scorpios, one of your friends may be a very ambitious person. They'll be highly motivated. They may even motivate you in the month of June. It also can indicate that you yourself just want to hang out with ambitious people. You're tired of hangers-on or losers. And so, you've made it a point to circulate and be friends with people that are driven and motivated. It can be general, or it can be one of your friends who's highly motivated at this time, but their ambition may rub off on you a little bit. And this is a good card. It's a person that makes the right choices and steers the chariot to get to where they want to go. So this person is a positive influence for you. And then your 12th house is the house of your undoing or your blind spot. It's where sometimes you get trapped in situations. And this is the card of the Fool. And so for some of you, this card in your 12th house, it's a karmic house. It can indicate that you have, at certain points in your life, been a little reckless, possibly impulsive. You've wanted to explore, new territory. Your innocence is always guiding you to the path, the journey, the learning something new. Inquisitive card. And so for some of you, this can be about never really having a plan and being in the moment, being in tune with wanting to see life as a journey and being quite innocent in your approach. And for some of you, you're going to be meditating on this, whether you have it too much or too little, because it is a card, like I said, that's in your karmic house, remains to be seen. You'll have to decide for yourselves. For some of you, you may have a child or someone around you that doesn't have a plan and they're a little too free or explorative, and it puts you in a situation where you sort of have to put everything together or pick up the pieces or troubleshoot. When they start to step off the cliff, you always have to kind of watch and make sure that they're not making stupid or rash decisions. So it can be a younger energy as well, that you are sort of the guardian over or of. But for others of you, it will be that you have not explored enough and looked at life as a journey. And in the month of June, you may have like a return to that state of innocence where you really do want to explore new things, but you may feel trapped by circumstance that you can't at this time do all of the exploration that you'd like to do. And so, especially because you have this global travel card in your money house, I think for many of you Scorpios, you do want a new cycle, a new beginning. The Fool is the first card in the deck. And so it is about the primal curiosity, and the life force moving out into the world. And some of you may fear that you have to start all over again, because this can be a card, like I said, of beginnings. But because you have, a relationship here that's kind of dead wood, and then if you have a legal situation where, you're feeling left out in the cold, you may have to begin a new journey and a new cycle. And this may be hard for you to make that change and make that leap of faith. This is a card of faith. And so you'll have to draw on your own intuition why this card is showing up as something you have not mastered yet. But I think it is about initiating new beginnings for most of you and exploring life with a new perspective and with an empty, heart and mind, and just seeing, what the world has to offer for you. I would put off travel in the month of June. I would try to place it at another time if you want to go in the summer. I think this is not a great card for the travel. And then I think you're still going to be a little preoccupied with one of your relationships. Either you've separated from this individual or you have a partner that's going through a tough separation. And that may take some of your time or your energy in the month of June. Anyway, don't stay too busy in your home. You have someone who has your back here in your neighborhood, or a sibling, a cousin. So you have someone that you resonate with that should be a good friend. And just enjoy your month of June. If you like my videos, please like, share, or subscribe. I hope you have a good month, Scorpios. Take care.